According to recent policy discussions, some immigration procedures may shift, and naturalized citizens are paying close attention. The latest immigration update did not appear suddenly. According to reports, discussions around immigration procedures have been building for months, with policymakers focusing on enforcement consistency and administrative review processes. What matters here is understanding that policy updates often begin as adjustments in how existing laws are applied, not always entirely new laws themselves. In many cases, announcements create strong reactions before the details are fully explained. That is why some headlines may sound more dramatic than the actual changes being discussed. The current update is being described by officials as a procedural shift in certain areas, meaning the way cases are reviewed or prioritized may evolve over time rather than change overnight. What makes this situation different is the attention around naturalized citizens. Reports suggest the discussion centers more on documentation review standards and consistency between agencies, rather than creating new categories or removing existing rights. That distinction is important, because it changes how people should interpret the news. And here's where many viewers get confused. Policy announcements often signal the start of a process, not the final version. Details may continue to develop as agencies clarify how rules will be applied in practice. In the next section, we'll look at what the policy actually says and why some early reactions may not match the practical reality people will experience. Now, let's look at what the policy actually says and how that differs from what many people are reading online. Step 1 is to focus on the official wording. According to reports, the update discusses procedural standards, review consistency, and documentation verification. The language centers on how cases are examined, not on creating new citizenship categories or canceling existing rights. That distinction is important. Online discussions, however, often summarize complex documents into short, dramatic statements. In some cases, phrases like citizenship review or status enforcement are interpreted as broad new powers. But when you read the official text carefully, it typically refers to existing legal authority being applied more consistently. Step 2 is understanding scope. The policy language may apply to specific situations, such as cases involving fraud concerns, incomplete records, or conflicting information. It does not automatically apply to every naturalized citizen. Broad claims online can make it sound universal, but official wording usually limits application to defined circumstances. Step 3 is recognizing the difference between enforcement priorities and legal changes. Reports suggest this update focuses more on administrative review standards than on rewriting citizenship law itself. That means procedures may tighten in some areas, but the core legal framework remains in place. So, what should viewers do? Focus on verified documents, read summaries from reliable sources, and avoid reacting to headlines alone. Preparation means understanding what applies to your situation, not assuming worst-case scenarios. Now let's clearly explain who naturalized citizens are and why this group is being mentioned in current discussions. First, a naturalized citizen is someone who was not born a U.S. citizen, but later became one through the legal immigration and citizenship process. This means they completed residency requirements, passed background checks, took the citizenship test, and swore the oath. Once that process is complete, they hold the same citizenship status as someone born in the country. So why are naturalized citizens being mentioned now? According to reports, the focus is not on changing citizenship itself. Instead, the discussion centers on documentation standards and review procedures in certain cases. In some situations, especially where there are questions about past records or inconsistencies, agencies may review files more carefully. That is not a new concept. It is part of existing legal authority. Step by step, here is what that means in practical terms. First, most naturalized citizens will likely notice no change at all. Their citizenship remains valid and protected under current law. Second, in limited cases involving fraud concerns or serious documentation issues, reviews may be more structured or more detailed. These situations are not automatic or random. They typically involve specific triggers. Third, preparation remains simple and practical. Keep personal records organized. Ensure important documents, like naturalization certificates and identification records, are stored safely and accurately. The key point is this: being mentioned in policy discussions does not mean rights are being removed. It often means administrative processes are being clarified or standardized. Now, let's talk about who may notice changes first and why some cases could move differently under updated procedures. According to reports, immediate effects usually appear in cases that are already under active review. This can include pending applications, renewals, or files where additional verification was already required. When agencies update internal guidance, these active cases are often the first to follow the new review approach. Step by step, the first group that may notice changes are applicants with incomplete or inconsistent documentation. In some cases, officers may request clarification earlier in the process instead of later. This does not automatically mean a problem exists. It often means reviews are being handled more carefully from the beginning. The second group may include cases connected to background checks or identity verification. Reports suggest that updated procedures may aim to make these reviews more consistent across offices. As a result, some applications could move faster once information is confirmed, while others may take slightly longer if additional checks are needed. Another area where changes may appear is in newer applications filed after updated guidance is issued. These cases may follow the revised process from the start, which can make timelines look different compared to older filings still moving through previous procedures. The important point is that closer review does not mean negative outcomes. In many situations, it simply reflects an effort to standardize how cases are handled. For most individuals who are already following existing rules, daily life may continue exactly the same. Licensing processes, regular renewals, and standard legal responsibilities usually remain in place unless a person's situation falls directly under the new changes. In many cases, agencies and local authorities continue using current procedures while they review and gradually apply updates. Another reason for limited short-term impact is timing. Changes often take weeks or months before they are fully implemented. Guidance documents need to be updated, officials need clear instructions, and systems must adjust. During this transition period, people are generally advised to continue following the rules they already know. This is why preparation matters more than reaction. Instead of assuming immediate changes, it's helpful to stay informed through official announcements and trusted sources. Reviewing personal documents, understanding current responsibilities, and keeping records up to date are simple steps that help avoid confusion later. It's also worth remembering that legal changes are often designed to clarify existing rules rather than completely replace them. For many viewers, the practical effect may simply be clearer guidance rather than new obligations. So for now, the key takeaway is calm awareness. Stay informed, follow current requirements, and give the process time to settle. Most people will find that their day-to-day routine continues as normal while the details are worked out step by step. At first, most offices continue working under existing procedures while they review what needs to change. This means processing times, review standards, or communication methods may stay the same in the short term. Gradually, as new instructions are clarified, departments may begin focusing more closely on certain types of applications or cases. For example, review teams may spend additional time ensuring paperwork meets updated requirements, or they may introduce clearer verification steps. This is usually done to create consistency, not to make the process more difficult. The goal is often to reduce confusion and make decisions more predictable over time. For individuals, the best approach is simple preparation. Make sure documents are accurate, Information is complete, and any required updates are handled early. Staying organized helps prevent delays if review priorities change later on. It's also important to remember that administrative shifts tend to happen slowly. Systems need time to adjust, staff require updated training, and new procedures are often tested before becoming standard practice. Because of this, most people will experience gradual adjustments rather than sudden changes. The key takeaway is to stay informed and patient. By understanding that review focus can evolve step by step, viewers can prepare calmly and continue following existing guidance while the process settles into place. Now we talk about why so much confusion appears online whenever policies or legal updates are discussed. Most misunderstandings begin when complex official language is shortened into quick posts, headlines, or short videos. Important details are often left out, and this can change how people understand the situation. One common issue is that people assume a proposal, discussion, or early report means an immediate change in rules. In reality, policy updates usually move through several stages before anything affects daily life. When these stages are not explained clearly, viewers may believe changes are happening faster than they actually are. Another reason confusion spreads quickly is repetition. When the same interpretation is shared many times online, it can start to feel like confirmed information, even if it began as speculation. Social media rewards fast sharing, but policy understanding requires slow and careful reading. A helpful approach is to focus on original sources and official explanations rather than summaries alone. Taking a moment to check dates, context, and whether something is final or still under review can prevent unnecessary concern. For viewers, the goal is not to react quickly, but to stay informed calmly. Most misunderstandings come from incomplete information, not from intentional misinformation. By focusing on verified updates and understanding that policies develop step by step, people can prepare responsibly without added stress or confusion.